Hey everybody! In lovely Wyoming, the water, when it melts, runs for about 2 days and then it's all soaked into the ground, so I had to take advantage of the situation. I'm sitting on a couple Tupperware lids on a snowbank, hoping that it doesn't fall into the ground here. So, I was gonna just relate this to the baptism of the Holy Spirit, because in John 7, God talks about out of your belly will flow rivers of living water. And that kind of sounds funny, but I believe it's talking about the baptism of the Holy Spirit. So when you are born again, you have almost like a well on the inside of you, and the Holy Spirit takes up residence in there because you're saved. And then the baptism of the Holy Spirit is like drawing it up out of there. Speaking in tongues is like the bucket. It's like you're praying up and praying out deposits that have been hidden there by God. It's like he's got this little treasure trove on the inside of you. And when you pray, he's giving you wisdom. He is wisdom. He's giving you himself. And so he wants you to seek that out and draw it up out of there and get to know him better, understand him more. You're just praying up and out you deposits from him. It's kind of neat. I don't know. It's interesting. Like this lovely culvert situation here. It'll bubble up on the inside of you and it'll come out to your mouth. And it's like your spirit is praying. It's like your spirit man on the inside. It's his voice. And he's speaking the spirit language. I don't know how to explain this. I just know it's good. And I know that it refreshes you. Water in general, it's to refresh. Isaiah talks about that there's a refreshing. These people will speak with a stammering tongue, stammering lips. They'll utter things that were hidden, and I believe that was talking about the baptism of the Holy Spirit. The word talks about you're praying up mysteries, you're edifying yourself. You won't know what you're saying. That's also something to understand. Your mind just needs to shut off for this thing because it won't get it. This is something that your mind will fight you on. So you just have to yield to your spirit. You can ask God for the ability to interpret what you're saying. Pray in the spirit like 10-15 minutes and then pray in English and see if anything new comes up out of there. There was a time when I was really concerned about somebody and kind of upset with the situation. And I was just talking to one of my friends about it, and I was just like, man, I just don't understand. I just don't know what to do about it. And then out of my mouth came something that I had not planned on saying at all. It was so weird. It was just like, well, I just need to pray for them and do this. I forget what specifically it was. But I just like stopped and I thought, what just came out of my mouth? That's weird. I did not plan on saying that. I knew it was from God. It was just something that was up out of my spirit, and it probably come from praying in tongues beforehand. And so this is all to help you. This is all to just to benefit you in life. When you have no idea, you can only go so far and you just don't know what to do or how to respond, how to proceed. You just start praying in the spirit. And it draws up what you need from out of there. Gives you some answers, helps you communicate with God, helps you encounter God in a way that you hadn't before. I believe it's just another way to seek the Lord. He wants to be found by you, and we want to be found by him. And this relationship is about intimacy and knowing him, knowing who he is. And when you pray in the spirit, it just shuts your natural ability off. And your, I know best and I can do this because I've got experience. Check that out of there and just say, okay, I'm just going to pray in the spirit. You're yielding automatically to the Holy Spirit. You're yielding and totally open to what he has to say. I know he likes that a lot. I know he likes it when we trust him, when we put faith in him, and when we don't turn to our own understanding, but we acknowledge him in all our ways, even the little bits that you think you can take care of. Probably one of my favorite things about the baptism is that it's like a battery charger. We have so many opportunities to get burnt out on life, burnt out on relationships, burnt out in your job, the expectations of the world. And this tongues thing is like a battery charger. You start praying in the spirit and it charges up your inner man so that he can handle what life comes at him. It's just really helpful. I don't know how else to say it. You just kind of have to try it. Like, I could tell you about this all day long, but I guess until you experience it, until you receive the baptism and receive speaking in tongues. It probably won't make a lot of sense to you, but it just, boy, there have been times where I've been, I've had some time in the vehicle, or I've just been really, really down, or really, you just don't know what to do, and you start praying in the Spirit, and it starts building you right back up. So, I don't know. I think if you had an answer to something, or if you had a tool that worked, you would use it. And this is what the baptism is for. It's something to use. It's something to be immersed in. It's something that will always benefit you and never take away from anything. It's only there to help. And I'm really glad that God gave it to us. All right, so I'm just gonna get off these Tupperware lids now and go on with the day. So I'll see you next week.